Alright, what's going on, guys? So today I want to talk a little bit more about Black Ops 4 and why some people, especially the investors in Activision and people over there, seem to think that Black Ops 4 is a disappointment. And then I want to talk about whether or not this game, so far at least, is truly a disappointment, because I've been pretty critical of the game over the last couple weeks. There's been a lot of problems with it, and so I want to talk about stuff like that. Anyways, before I continue, I do want to let you know I will be shutting down the Patreon. In fact, YouTube has finally fixed channel memberships. I already have everything settled with that. I have everything set up, so what you get with this, it's $5 a month. You're not forced to, of course, but if you do want to support content here on the channel, you can give $5 a month. Your name will be credited in videos each week. This also happens with people who super chat and donate in other ways. You'll be able to vote on specific new content ideas, while I'll keep some videos open for everyone to vote on. Channel members will be allowed to vote on specific ideas. They get early access to story videos, so that'll come in handy for videos like tomorrow. You get access to previous live streams on the channel. I delete all the live streams I do here about maybe 30 minutes or so after I finish them and let them upload and stuff. But channel members will have access to these for 7 days, and you will also have members-only live chats when things in stream just get to a point where we'll turn that on. If you want to do that, make sure to click the link down below. I would really appreciate that. Of course, you're not forced to watch my videos. Anyways, let's move on. So we all know Black Ops 4 has come out and it's done pretty well. I mean, it sold well. The game actually generated more than $500 million in sales through its first 3 days of release. It broke numerous records, especially on the PlayStation, for the fastest selling games and the best launch and stuff like that. The game even had pretty decent critical acclaim. I mean, this is the best ranked Call of Duty game and best reviewed and criticized Call of Duty game in years. It has one of the higher Metacritic scores in the franchise. Certainly better so far than the launch of World War II, at least when it comes to how people are interpreting the game. So when you hear the number $500 million in the first 3 days of release, usually that's a pretty good amount of money, No one just comes out here with $500 million in the first 3 days. That's a premier sales target. But the investors and stockholders for Activision Blizzard are not impressed. They actually figured that the game would do better at launch, especially since the game was launching earlier. It should have, more time to get more sales. It had a little bit less competition in the frame that they launched the game in than it would have if they probably launched it in November. They weren't really trying to launch behind Red Dead Redemption 2. I think they knew that that was going to be a problem. But $500 million in sales is actually on par with what World War II did last year. Now, the problem with that is that the investors hoped for an increase in sales. They thought, especially since this game's gonna have Battle Royale, which is one of the craziest hypes of the year in the gaming industry, plus it's a Black Ops game, plus people were a little bit disappointed with World War II. They figured that this game was going to rebound and do better. However, in sales, it kind of just did on par. This led to Activision's stock falling almost 9% on the market during the time frame right after the launch. And that might be part of the reason why microtransactions have been rushed into the game. Now, a lot of my disappointment with the game thus far boils centrally around how they've handled microtransactions thus far, because they're not really living up to how they were really going to do it, or telling us that they were really going to do it, because they kind of made this all out like they were going to really start following other business models and stuff like that, but it's becoming more and more apparent that they're not doing that, and in fact, they're kind of being scumbags about a lot of these microtransactions. But I can definitely see why they would push out these microtransactions, especially before they even really finish the game, if they're disappointing the stockholders and if they're disappointing investors, because those are the people they really have to please. Of course, they need to worry about pleasing the fans of the franchise, but in reality, we all know what Activision's up to. They're all about money. They're not really focused on putting the best product out, because at this point, if they were worried about putting out a Call of Duty game that, is great, is amazing, top of the franchise Call of Duty, they would A, listen to the fan base, B, launch a game that's completed and isn't broken, C, would hold back on the microtransactions and just, realize that there's better ways to do that kind of stuff. Now, I'm not saying the game's bad or anything, but this game definitely could be better, much better. I'd still say, so far, this is the best Call of Duty we've had since Black Ops 2, but honestly, when you really match this game up with the competition it's had, it really isn't a shocker that this game is overall the best Call of Duty we've seen since Black Ops 2. I mean, this is a year that is so competitive in the gaming industry. This game probably isn't even in the top 5 best video games to come out this year anyways, so you have to consider the fact that in sales, it was competing directly with Red Dead Redemption 2, which had the second biggest entertainment launch in history, so I was never expecting this game to outsell Red Dead Redemption 2. At this point, I don't even know if it'll be second on the list in sales this year, especially with games like Spider-Man, God of War, all kinds of games coming out. You can't really count Fortnite considering it's a free-to-play game, but, I just don't see what competition they really thought this game was gonna hold. But would I say that the game is a disappointment? No, I wouldn't say that Black Ops 4 is overall a disappointment. I'm disappointed at how they're handling the game and how they're really moving post-launch. Because the truth is, this game has a lot of potential. In February, if they fix all the problems with this game, it's going to be a great game. It's going to be fun. But are they going to hold my attention until February is the question. Because right now there are so many bugs, glitches, errors, server connection problems, crashing issues, all kinds of problems with the game that aren't really being addressed at all. I mean, literally the other night on stream, my game crashed and it just turned my PlayStation off. And then I turn it back on and the shit's flashing the screen, just flashing at a dimmed light color. The game really disappoints me, primarily because the game isn't even finished, okay? And I'm gonna talk about this more. This game still feels like a beta in a lot of ways. Because if this is the full launch title, number one, there is so much missing features and content of the game that it's inexcusable. And on top of that, it's so broken and there's so many glitches and problems with it. And I understand every Call of Duty has problems and weapon tuning issues, glitches, bugs, the whole 9 yards. But this is the most broken I've ever seen a Call of Duty. And what's crazy to me is that the beta was actually more stable. And then on top of that, another disappointing factor is that this game hardly even ties the Black Ops universe together. They keep calling this the definitive Black Ops experience. You can play as all these iconic, Black Ops characters and stuff in Blackout mode. You got the 4 remastered maps plus however many they remaster in the Black Ops Pass coming for multiplayer. All these reimagined maps coming in zombies. And that's great and all, but this just isn't it, This isn't actually the definitive Black Ops experience. I mean, it's more than apparent to everybody who actually has taken a step back, looked at this game, and looked at why it's named Black Ops 4. I mean, we all know why this is Black Ops 4. Because Treyarch wasn't going to come out with a brand new franchise and just come out the gates. There wasn't going to be a Call of Duty from Treyarch this year that was going to sell big that wasn't Black Ops 4. We all know that this is not Black Ops 4. Sure, you can have these little minor features and stuff of all the other Black Ops games and some of the throwback characters and maps. But Black Ops 4, it kind of asserts that this game is supposed to be a continuation of the Black Ops franchise, yet there is no continuation. I don't think the game is overall a disappointment, but there are definitely features and factors of this game that disappoint the shit out of me, and Treyarch seems to just not address any of it or fix the problems. Yet they're so quick to get in these microtransactions, they're so quick to bow to whatever these investors and everything want, because they're disappointed. For whatever reason, these people thought this game was going to outsell Red Dead 2. I don't know what you were thinking, but honestly, if that's what you thought, maybe, just maybe, investing your money is not the best area for you to be in, but, I mean, that's just my whole take on the topic. I don't think the game is as disappointing as these investors are trying to put out, really, but this game definitely needs a lot of work, has some disappointing elements to it, and overall, what did they expect? Thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're brand new around here. Follow me on Twitter at @subtooptimus. Become a channel member down below to help support my content. Join the Discord down below. Eventually, that will become a perk as well. YouTube has limited the amount of perks until more people join, so eventually you'll get a role in the Discord and stuff as well, plus all these other perks and stuff I have planned. So until my next video, guys, this is Optimus. Disappointed, just sad about Black Ops 4, and signing out.